Today on Grow Up Level Up Sunset Selects, we are reviewing Spider-Man Brand New Day, giving all our thoughts with our Twitch chat with everybody. So get ready for this week's edition of Sunset Selects. Cue the intro.
That's me pushing the button.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Was it going to play again? Welcome, one and all, to Grow Up, Level Up, Sunset Selects, the weekly podcast where we like to tell you about the games you should be playing in your 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5, or once in a blue moon, or in our case, a red sun. The movies you should be watching your 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5. Like I said, today we are reviewing Spider-Man Brand New Day. And who are we, you might ask? Well, I am Samson, aka Samson XP from the interwebs. And over there is Jordan, aka Sir Dr. JM. Good evening, Jordan.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. We're both hot off a long weekend up here in Canada. I think we both spent the weekend camping.
Oh, yeah, out in nature.
That's right. I did absolutely no gaming while I was away, so I'm looking forward to getting back to it.
Well, that's tangenting into our camping weekend. I did do a little bit of gaming. Played a lot of Rune Dice on our Switch, which you could hear us talk about in last week's episode, talking about the games we've been playing. So I was playing Rune Dice on my Switch, just like you put me onto that. It's portable, like that a little bit. I was also reading a book called Dungeon Crawler Carl. I don't know if you've heard of it. You know me. I don't read books. It's hard. Reading's hard. But when you're camping, it's different. It's different.
True.
I think it's a book that is
You think it's a book?
I think it's a book. I know.
Okay.
It's weird.
Good.
It came in pages.
Adept observation.
Came in pages. Like I don't know if it's a good book. It's good. It's fun. I keep reading it, right? Because I'm like, I'm thoroughly entertained. But it's very much like the fact that we are gamers. It helps you understand and follow the book a lot easier. I don't know if this book would appeal to my mom, but as gaming people, you're like, okay, I can see the entertainment in this. It's very little Marvel-y and all that. But speaking of Marvel, that is the topic of the show. Spider-Man Brand New Day reviews. Before we get into it, I'd like to do a little bit of housekeeping. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this here video, whether you like Spider-Man Brand New Day or you didn't like Spider-Man Brand New Day, the newest movie from Marvel. If you agree with us, give us a like. If you don't agree with us, give us a like, and then go to your friend's account and also give us a like on this video. Maybe subscribe while you're at it. If you really liked us and want to support us, make sure you get some merch over at growuplevelup.com. We got hoodies, we got hats, we got t-shirts, and it's pretty simple. It's just a little logo up there, designed by a friend of the show, French Dip Design. So go support us if you can. And hey, maybe you are watching us live right now on twitch.tv/growuplevelup, just like Perry Chuman is, just like Day Turbo 7 is, just like Mjolnir98 is, talking all about their thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day and some other news. We got some quick we'll come back to it, but let us know what you think about Spider-Man Brand New Day, whether it's live in the Twitch chat, whether it is in the YouTube video. We will read them all. We got some user or some viewer reviews as well coming in on my phone here that we asked on Instagram earlier today, so make sure that you also follow us on Instagram to be a part of the episode. Perry Chuman comes in saying, hated Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm sorry, but that opinion I think is wrong, and you are trolling, and you are banned from the chat. No, I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm timing her out.
Perry's one of our best viewers. She's always first in the room. Anyways, Spider-Man Brand New Day released July 31st, 2026, the fourth Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, and the first Spider-Man movie in 5 years, which kind of blows my mind because I did not know it's been that long since No Way Home. The way we're going to structure this is Jordan and I will give our scores and spoiler-free thoughts at first, and then we'll go into like a spoilery section as well at the end. And I will also preface this by saying that this may be a shorter episode. We're trying to keep this one tight because Jordan and I have a new game to play tonight, maybe a game called Big Walk. A game that I've been talking about and hyping for like pretty much the entire existence of Grow Up Level Up. So make sure you are subscribed to Grow Up Level Up to catch our review next week. But tonight, we're keeping this episode nice and tight so that we can get more time into Big Walking with our friends. So, Spider-Man Brand New Day. New movie, like I said, came out on July 31st, 2026. Jordan, you were saying we went camping. We both went camping this weekend, of course, in our respective provinces and areas. I saw this movie the night before I went camping on July 30th. So I pretty much saw the movie, got my friend groups and ours initial reactions, and then went media blackout because there was no internet signal at our campsite for the past 4 days. But like even that Thursday night reaction, seeing all the people in the pack together, seeing those initial reactions, like I knew this movie was going to do really well and going to slap.
Yeah.
Jordan, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day? Or I guess, what was your experience watching the film?
Well, it's funny that that was your experience with it. Mine was basically the exact opposite. We went camping about 6 hours away from where we live. So we drove down to Calgary the one day, spent the night there. Then we drove out to where we were camping the next day. But at the end of our camping weekend, I had to go back before everyone else because I worked on the Tuesday. Nobody else did. So Monday, we went down to Waterton. Beautiful place if you've never been. Another good place to go for hiking in the mountains, kind of here in Alberta. And so then I drove from Waterton all the way back to Edmonton, which is about 7 hours. I got home. I unloaded the dogs. I brought my stuff in. I think I had about 20 minutes to sit down. And then I said, I'm all by myself. I'm going to go to Spider-Man. So then I went straight to the theater. And man, I could not believe how hard it still was to get like a decent seat, even though I was going to a 10:20 p.m. showing on a Monday.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like the movie got out after midnight, like pretty close to 1, honestly. But yeah, overall, I mean, it was kind of wild because I had such a long day to myself, and then I went and sat in a movie theater by myself for a couple more hours. But you could tell the hype was there just by how busy it was. I mean, how many showings they had. I looked at 3 different theaters and a whole bunch of different showtimes just to try and find one that I could get decent seats at, because all that was left was like the front couple of rows for the most part. So yeah,
I kind of echo that. Like, yeah, I went Thursday night, so like technically the pre-night to the official release,
right.
But movies come out on Thursdays now. It's just a thing. And I go to the theater a lot, especially during the winter months. It does get pretty quiet, even for an opening weekend. What's a big movie I saw recently? I think we saw Project Hail Mary, and it was pretty like it was busy, but it wasn't like an Avengers movie, right? Like I've also been there for those. This was the Avengers movie kind of hype. Like Thursday night, theater was packed. I guess people just go into every single showing they could. Like people love Spider-Man, and they definitely showed up this weekend for it. So that was honestly like a breath of fresh air, because going to the theater a lot, you see all the downtime and it's like not too bad. But yeah, we went to a VIP theater. I'm not sure if folks have that in the States, and I'll segue this into the Friendship Design joining us in with a question here on the stream. What snacks did you guys have during Spidey? Well, for my showing, I went to something called VIP. It's one of the theater experience, the premium format, whatever experiences you can do. Basically, what that means is you have to be over 19 because they serve you alcohol and drinks and like bar food and that kind of stuff. So, to answer your question, Friendship Design, I got a nice cold lager and some
Oh.
Parmesan fries to watch my movie with.
Oh.
And then I went with a bunch of friends. A couple folks got like a pitcher of sangria. Someone got like a fish bowl, like those fish bowl cocktails. What else did somebody get? Yeah, and everyone got different kinds of food. Somebody got like dry rub ribs. It was tasty. Yeah, we had a full on meal. Have you ever done VIP, Jordan?
Okay, so it's funny because again, I had to look at 3 different theaters and multiple different showings, and I really didn't like. I'll be honest. You know, I'm a dad. We don't often have someone to look after our kids, so most movies I go to nowadays, I'm going by myself. I haven't done like a good theater experience where you kind of go all out in a long time. Usually it's popcorn and a drink, and I need enough popcorn to bring some home with me afterwards because otherwise my wife will kill me. So, so I just got like a large popcorn and a drink, and they're like, yo, free refill on the large popcorn. Do you want it now? And I'm like, sure. So I walk in with 2 large bags of popcorn and my drink all to myself. But it's funny that you tell me about the VIP thing, because in doing my research of all these different theaters in Edmonton and trying to find a show I could go to, I almost went to the VIP showing. But unfortunately, I couldn't get a good seat for it. I was at the we have more than one theater that does VIP, but the one I did end up going to is a VIP one. So I saw the whole VIP section and, you know, the little lineup for that. But yeah, I was looking at that like, I got to try that one day, because I do love getting some strips, some fries, you know, some chicken strips and gravy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They deliver it right to your seat. Like you sit down, then you have the servers just hanging out waiting for your order. You order it. They bring it to you before the movie starts, or like right as the movie's starting, so you have it ready to go. Yeah, it's a good date night thing. Me and my wife do it all the time, because they also remove the barrier between 2 of the seats, so you get to sit a little closer,
a little snuggle up.
Exactly.
A little handy. I mean, yeah, cool.
French Tip Design says, we always go home with a full bucket, free refill for large. I have never refilled popcorn. You guys are popcorn fiends.
I mean, look, I wouldn't have come for my refill. I wouldn't have gone and got a refill if they hadn't told me that. But when they're like, hey, you get a free refill with this, do you want to get it now? I was like, well, I'm not going to say no. You're practically forcing it upon me. So they just hand you these 2 massive bags. And I was like, okay.
Oh, okay. That is quite a lot of popcorn.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But enough about our theater experiences. What do you think of the actual movie, Jordan? And what would you score Spider-Man Brand New Day?
All right, we're going spoiler free right now. No spoilers, just in case anyone in chat watching whatever has not seen it yet. I enjoyed it. I have been finding lately, I come out of a lot of these Marvel movies feeling almost, I wouldn't say like the polar opposite of how most people feel, but I do find myself on sort of the opposite spectrum of what I think most people are feeling on Marvel movies these days. And when I say that, I mean most of the fans. I feel like people came out of Fantastic Four and they weren't all that impressed. And I really enjoyed Fantastic Four. I feel like people came out of Thunderbolts and they were pretty high on it. And I liked it. It was still good, but I didn't feel like I was as high on it as most people. And honestly, I came out of Spider-Man thinking the same. If I were rating it on a scale of, 1 to 10, I'd give it a solid 7. It was good. It was fun. It wasn't my favorite of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. It did a lot of things well, a lot of things that I will talk about when we get into our full spoilers time. But overall, I don't know what it was. And then, of course, I go home. I immediately hop in the car. I plug in my phone and I start listening to the Kind of Funny podcast where they review and rank, the MCU in review. And they're talking about it. And I find that listening to other people talk about it and getting in that conversation actually gets me more hyped about it. And then I'm like, okay, maybe, you know what? I did like that. Maybe I liked it more than I thought originally. So anyways, I'm hopeful that I see it again. And I think I probably will like it more than I did on my first viewing. I really I think there's something about going to see a movie in the theater. I need to figure out what makes me comfortable and what makes me really enjoy watching the movie. And maybe it is a pitcher of sangria. But anyways.
It does help. It does help.
I can imagine.
So a 7 out of 10 from Jordan. Mm-hmm. I want to say I'm around there as well.
Okay.
Maybe a little higher because on one hand, like, well, overall, like, movie's gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of the director, like huge. I might be his.
I remember you saying that.
If all his fans are, if he has no fans, I'm dead, kind of thing. Destin Cretton. No, Destin Daniel Cretton is his name. A huge fan of him. So like going in, I'm already a little biased, but at the same time, I'm like, we've gotten so much good Spider-Man lately it's like, okay, this has to really do something special. And I think leaving the theater and having a whole weekend of media blackout to think about it, I'm like, it's like, it didn't do anything special, but man, was it a good story about Spider-Man.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Right? Like, sure, special, quote unquote. I thought they really had some really cool story beats, really creative how they told, certain story elements, weaved it into the MCU, all that. That was pretty special.
I know what you're dancing around.
They did it pretty masterfully. But other than that, it like didn't tear jerk me, if that makes sense. Spider-Man No Way Home, like,
no jerking.
Jerked some tears out of me. This one was like, I came out and I'm like, I am very like satisfied. That was a great time. What a beautiful bow to the story. I love where it ended. I love where it started. Everything in between was fantastic. And I was just like, that was a great time. The action scenes were like amazing. The performances, of course, amazing. Like seeing Tom Holland aged up a little, and Zendaya and Ned all aged up just a little bit. Like, we all know they're like in their 30s now, just like us. But like, wow, they could pull off a young adult really well. So I'm like, and seeing them a little older, it's a different take on Spider-Man, because I think this is the oldest Spider-Man we've gotten live action wise, compared to Tobey and Andrew.
That's really weird to think about, because like I think about Tobey now and I'm like, he's an old man now, like in real life, but at the time he was playing a high schooler as well.
He was 30 years old playing any freaking sense.
Yeah.
You had the 40-year-old classmates that looked older than the teacher, right?
Yeah, Flash, who he like gets in a fight with in the hallway, and like that is a full-grown rugby playing man.
Yeah.
Like, he would destroy you.
You don't notice it as much as kids, because it's like, oh, everyone above the age of 12 is going to look like that. But looking back, you're like, no, this guy's my coworker.
Shout out French Dip Design in chat, says Tom Holland got a little beefier for this one, and
oh my gosh,
that was noticeable. One thing I certainly did appreciate, and I think a lot of people have kind of talked about, is the look of the suit, which I don't really consider that a spoiler. If you've seen any marketing for the movie, you've seen his suit. And it did look a lot more scaled back, which is, kind of the point, of course, if you've seen, the previous Tom Holland movies. And I really liked how this one was almost more amateur looking. You could see a lot more of how it fit his form. But naturally, in order to fit that, he clearly bulked up a little bit.
Come on.
Mans was looking jacked.
Dude,
and then,
I was like, damn. That's a physique right there.
Also, that head of hair. Oh my god.
Yeah. He just looks more like chiseled overall. Like you see him now and like before. Like he's got that jawline now. Yeah, he looks stockier, while still being flexible. That's kind of the appeal of Spider-Man. But that was no spoilers. But there's some fan service in there. We'll call it that. Pulling in from the chat again. Davey James, I will come back to your question there. But yes. Friendship Design saying it is the best live action Spidey suit. I agree.
Yeah.
It looks so nice, so cool. And I love the fact that, I don't know the spoilers, but he was in it for so long. He was in the suit for so much of the movie.
Yeah.
To the point where it got kind of funny. Like, I at one point I whispered to my wife, it's like, isn't this hilarious? There's like two normally dressed people and then a bright red Spider-Man sitting at the desk.
Yeah, totally.
Just the juxtaposition of that is so funny. But yeah, I loved the suit and all that. But going back to my score, my overall thoughts of the movie, I think that I was very whelmed in a positive way at the end of the movie. Like I said, it didn't jerk any tears. It didn't blow my mind of the way the direction the story was going. Blowing. That's what she said, right? So I had a good time, but I think I'm gonna place it like I'm gonna place it at an 8 because I feel like I would watch this again, just because I enjoyed the performance and the whole arc of it so far. The movie never felt too long. I loved the action scenes and the choreography, and that was just fun to watch. Like the movie was very beautiful to look at. And yeah, I think I'd put this at an 8 out of 10. A little higher than your 7, but I can totally see a 7. Yeah, I don't think it's the best Spider-Man movie out there. That's still up for debate in my head, but I think this is like this is up there, but not up there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shout out to the director. I will say this again, Destin Daniel Cretton. I think he's extremely underrated. I think that after this movie, like he was already on the up and up, right? Like he did Shang-Chi, then he did Wonder Man, but Spider-Man puts him in the mainstream. And
Wonder Man's so good.
Wonder Man was so good, and sucks to hear about the season 2 not happening. I don't know if you heard
I didn't hear
about that. Yeah, I don't think they're moving forward with it, which makes me think that Disney is not going to be doing any more live action Marvel TV after Daredevil. Anyways, extremely, I don't even know if you can call him underrated director now, but he has 2 movies early in his career that I don't think enough people have watched. One is Short Term 12. It is a movie about like kids in a respite home or a foster care home. They are considered like bad, so they got kicked out of all of their homes, and now they have to live in this a group home. That movie, like, I don't know how he made a really engaging story out of that. You have like Brie Larson in it. Another one of his earlier movies that was really good with a young Michael B. Jordan, a young Brie Larson, Jamie Foxx, called No Mercy or Just Mercy. Hold on. Destin. What was it called? Just Mercy. About a trial for a black man who the lawyer Michael B. Jordan plays believes that he is innocent and didn't commit the crime. But with the courts back then, he had the death sentence. And it's the story about that. Extremely underrated. Destin Daniel Cretton is going to work on the Naruto movie next. And that's going to go crazy too. He's a great action director as well.
Fair enough.
So 8 out of 10. Pretty good. Spider-Man. This was a good Spider-Man movie for the last 5 years. Talked to my coworkers today, and then they were all like, yeah, we want to go see it too. And I'm like, this is the power of the Spider.
You know what?
There's pull people into these seats.
There's something about Spider-Man because, like, I think our generation just honestly, you ask almost anyone our generation, and we all grew up with Batman, Spider-Man, and then some people, the knowers, will say X-Men as well. But it's really those 2 flagships of Marvel and DC, right? Batman and Spider-Man. And then, the X-Men are the secret one that people will pull out of their pocket. And it's, of course, because of the 90s animated shows.
And the early 2000s movies, too. Like, they were pioneers of that. Yeah. Of that genre, right?
Yeah.
I want to pull in some viewer reviews. I asked Instagram early today, and like I said, Spider-Man extremely popular. We got a lot of write-ins. So we got Batgirl, who I think is in the chat now. Hey, Batgirl. Batgirl in the chat and also on Instagram, Instagram.com/growuplevelup, @growuplevelup, asking reviews for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Batgirl says, 10 out of 10, my new favorite Spidey movie.
Whoa.
And I respect that because I think this is a very good Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
Like, I think, quintessentially, this is the Spider-Man. If you want to show somebody, like, if you want to show an alien, what's Spider-Man about? It's about this kid that struggles with friends and also his superpowers. Yeah, he's kind of a spider. But you also might not understand half of this movie if you didn't watch the first 3.
Yeah, fair enough.
We got Alan writing in, mhoy19, saying,
hello, Alan.
Top 3 Spider-Man movie of all time.
Okay. So, of all time. Okay.
I can also see that. Alan, I wonder what the other 2 are.
Alan, if you're watching or in the chat lurking, I'd love to know your actual ranking of what those top 3 are.
We got Dominic also writing in saying
Dominic.
7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Overall, flow of the storyline is good and lines up with No Way Home. Good mix of funny and action.
Yeah. Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty in line with Alan, I think.
Or Dominic?
Dominic? Why did I say Alan? Was that before that?
Yeah, Alan was the. Was
okay, my bad. Yeah. Dominic, yes.
I moved on. We got a couple more folks DMing me. We got Luke saying almost enough shirtless Tom Holland.
Almost.
I wish they did too. I agree. I wish they did too.
There's a spoiler I want to say, but I'll save it because
okay,
related to being shirtless.
We got Elias writing in saying 4 out of 5. Not just Tom Holland's.
Out of 5.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 4. Not just Tom Holland's best Spider-Man film, but also a top 3 Spider-Man movie of all time. Another top 3 Spider-Man. For him, it's just behind Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man 2. They really doubled down on how Peter overcomes the crude hardship and detrimental aftershock from No Way Home. The best MCU Spider-Man film that could stand beside the Raimi trilogy. Wow, very high praise for 4 out of 5. Yeah.
Very high praise for the Raimi trilogy too, but
yeah, it was fun. Spider-Man 3 was a bit of a slog. Let's see, and I got one more from Mario, friend of the show, Mario from Toronto. Hey, finally watched it. IMO 10 out of 10. Love the camera work. Love the Punisher interactions. Loved how mature the Spider-Man movie is throughout the writing and acting for every character. And I don't want to brush over that. I think all the characters in Brand New Day, super great. John Bernthal's Punisher, hilarious.
Minor spoiler, but he was in the marketing, so I'll give it to you.
But yeah, some of the action scenes with him in it are the best. It's just something about the way he can like hold a gun and yell and shoot the gun is just like, damn, this guy's cool.
So true. So true.
This guy is so cool. And I want to bring it back to the chat here with Davey James asking us, when was the last time you watched the first 3 Holland films? No Way Home was such a slog when we recently rewatched it at home and definitely didn't hit like the first time. Good question.
So,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I definitely watched the first Homecoming a couple times. I just feel like it's a very easy movie to watch. Not recently though, but I watched it a couple times. Far From Home, I don't think I watched ever again since the theater. I thought that movie was sequelitis, the weaker of the 3.
Okay.
And then No Way Home, I watched a couple of times as well. And I see where people say it's like, they pause for applause when the Spider-Men show up. Spoilers for a movie that's 5 years old. Old. And I didn't notice it until people mentioned it. I was like, well, this kind of ruins the movie for me now, because now I'm reimagining like being in the theater and like cheering and clapping. But then I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see why they did that. Overall, I don't think it was a slog, because I still thought the movie was like so visually cool and the story that was going for it. And I think like that, what that movie does well is just incorporating all the Spider-Men and all the villains and giving an arc to Aunt May. But definitely like not a perfect 10 out of 10 movie either. Davey James chiming in again saying, felt like watching a sitcom without a laugh track.
I know. I saw
maybe we should add one. Like a cheering a studio audience, yeah. Movies are weird. How about you, Jordan? Any more thoughts about Brand New Day?
I have. Well, not Brand New Day. I thought we were talking about a new Way Home. What was that one called?
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
New Way Home.
Not New Way Home. I have thoughts for Davey James 22 because of that. And yes, the laugh track, or not the laugh track thing. Sorry, the moment. Yeah, Dave's sitting next to me, just breaking Jordan's heart, says Cam in the French Dip Design in the chat. You're right. I love that movie so much. I have rewatched it in the past 2-3 months. And I can obviously see, people have complaints about it because there's a lot of green screen in it. And like, I mean, they're having a fight on the Empire State, or not, sorry, the Statue of Liberty. And obviously there's lots of CG, villains and stuff like that. I'm able to forgive that. I totally know the exact moment you're talking about where they pause for the applause. And it's true. They do. And I don't give a fuck because I will cheer. I will stand up on my couch like Tom Cruise every time it happens because it's so worth it. That said, I know what you mean. It does drag a little. Hey, don't point that gun at me. That was that Dave in the chat. I know it does feel a little long at times. On a rewatch, there were times where I was like, man, this hasn't happened yet. Like, oh, we're only here right now. But that first experience of watching it was obviously incredible for all of us that, again, grew up with Spider-Man cartoons. But then the first big superhero movie for, I think, most of our generation was Spider-Man. I remember going to see Spider-Man in theaters for my birthday. 12 of us, whatever, 12-ish year olds, all going to the theater and watching that. So anyways, yeah, and look, I'm not saying I'm a fan of Jamie Foxx, but seeing all the villains and Spider-Man come together was very, very good. And Andrew Garfield, his Peter Parker, got his saving MJ moment, which I cannot watch that moment without tearing up. That one jerks my tears
yep.
Big time, because the fact that Sony was allowed to do that in The Amazing Spider-Man was incredible. The way, big spoilers for that movie, but the way they snapped her back,
yeah, that was crazy.
When Peter tries to save her, oh my God. I could not, like, that noise. There's a distinct crunching noise in that moment if you rewatch that movie. And when Andrew Garfield got his redemption and was able to save MJ, oh my God. That is a big reason why I love that movie so much, because I will rewatch that scene just over and over again.
Whoa.
No, the one where he saves her. The one where he saves her. Not the one where her back breaks.
I think, like, going back to, I guess, my biggest critique of Brand New Day, if you could even call it that, is there wasn't a tearjerker. Yeah. There wasn't a jaw open on the floor moment. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that's so creative or whatever, all that. You could make an argument there is plot points that are similar to that in Brand New Day.
I think they tried.
Yeah.
Do we want to go spoiler
we can
now?
dive into spoilers. I'll finish my thought and then we can go into our spoiler talk. It's about that time anyways. Yeah, I think I was just missing the tearjerker moment, the jaw on the floor, like even with Spider-Man Homecoming, which is the safest of all the three, when they revealed the Vulture was Lizzie's dad, or what's her name's dad?
I think so. Yeah.
Like I had an audible gasp in the theater, and I grabbed my friend's arm. I was like, "No way!" Like, that's
so funny.
That makes a lot of sense. And then, like, some of my friends went, "Oh, we saw it coming." I was like, "Nah, man, I didn't see it coming." That's very cool way to tie it. So I was missing that in Brand New Day, but I'm not gonna knock it just because the overall package was so strong. And for that, I give it an 8 out of 10. And
cool.
Jordan gives it a 7 out of 10, which I also respect.
Which is still good.
Agree. Yeah.
Not saying it's bad.
I still think it's worth going to the theater for. Like, I can't wait for my coworkers and other friends to go enjoy this like beautiful movie that's funny, endearing, has a good message, best action scenes, supporting like supporting cast and all the characters. Like, just what a great, enjoyable time. But yeah, I'd be interested, coming back to Davy James's comment, if watching again, if it will feel like a slog. In the theater, it didn't feel like a slog. But I wonder. I don't know. Maybe I have more trust in the director. Couple final thoughts from the chat here. Friendship Design saying Doc Ock was great. Willem Dafoe is amazing. 100% agree. Jamie Foxx sucks. He does, as a person, I heard, allegedly. Shout out to his earlier movie with Destin Daniel Cretton, Just Mercy. He was pretty okay in that. Davy James with a final thought saying, Amazing Spider-Man was the most accurate to the comics. I remember feeling my heart drop when the pictures of Gwen with the mint jacket leaked. I didn't read the comics at that time, Davy, but I felt like I think I had someone like spoil it for me in a way. And then I'm like, it's like, oh, that's crazy. And then I brought the girl I was seeing at the time to a theater. And then when it happened, I like looked over and she, I think she started crying too. Like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe they went there. Yeah. Anyways, that was funny. Andrew Garfield's the best part of the movie. I love that he gets so much of redemption. And what a missed opportunity us having an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was. Just politics, you know.
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
Let's dive into some
spoilers off.
Let's go. Are you spoilers on?
Spoilers on. Also, spoilers on. Shout out to my daughter in the chat there, jumping in on my wife's account. So, Good night, Elena. Sweet dreams. See you in the morning. Love you.
Let's talk spoilers for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Is there any like specific parts that jumped out to you, good or bad, Jordan, for Spider-Man Brand New Day? Oh, and yes, spoilers now. If you come back later once you see the movie, and then you can watch this part of the podcast. Thank you so much for coming. But we're going spoilers for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna close out the show. But go ahead, Jordan.
Before I get into it, I have to say, Shauna, if you're still watching, end the stream because we're about to spoil the goddamn movie, and I know you want to see it. So, yeah, get out of here. So, where do you want to start with spoilers?
Well, how did you feel about the redheaded character?
The redheaded character. Yes. I heard the casting rumors. Like, obviously, we know who. We knew. What's her name? Okay, my wife just texted me. She says, "Yeah, yes, that's right." My wife texted me. She said, "Okay, I dipped," so she left the stream. Yeah, we knew Sadie Sink was going to be in the movie. I had seen the rumors that people were speculating she might be Jean Grey. That was one of those things that I heard online, and I purposely kind of gaslit myself into trying to forget about because I didn't want to know that. I watched the first trailer for this movie, and that's it. I didn't watch any other trailers going in. So I knew John Bernthal was in it. I didn't actually know if Hulk was in it.
Oh.
Because the only thing that tipped me off was that he got a skin in Fortnite. And that made me think, oh shoot, is Hulk in this movie? But by the time I was watching it, I completely forgot. Anyways, back to Jean Grey. Portrayal wise, very good. Sadie Sink, awesome. Possibly a little bit younger than I would have thought. But at the same time, I don't actually know how old Sadie Sink is at all. I also don't really know how old Jean Grey is supposed to be. I'm basing most of this off, the cartoon or the X-Men movies, which are, famously bad for the most part. I did, however, really like that this movie was in a lot of ways her origin story, right? It gave us the backstory. It told us why she was how she was, what she was out to do. And then we kind of got to see her almost go all the way. But of course, the big finale is Peter kind of touching her heart through Aunt May one last time kind of thing. And again, that comes back to, I think they were really trying to pull on our heartstrings there, bringing Aunt May back and things like that, and letting Aunt May even, be the driving factor behind both Peter and now Jean Grey's kind of, turned to the good side, if you will. So I did like all that. I just didn't think emotionally it kind of had the same punch as Aunt May dying, but also, like I said, Andrew Garfield getting his redemption. But overall, really cool way to introduce her. Really cool way to set up the future, of course, with much of this movie being centered around the inhibitor that, of course, Peter's trying to build, trying to use it on Hulk. And then, of course, eventually using it on Jean Grey, and then the Department of whatever it's called, Damage Control, getting it and building their own. And oh my God, so many seeds that if you're just watching this movie, it's contained, right? The movie stands on its own, but it plants all these little things. Like we now have, X-Men had already been brought in small ways.
Yeah.
But we now have a very major player in all of the X-Men, in basically every X-Men storyline in the fray. So there's that. And then there's the inhibitors and blah, blah, blah. So yeah. What did you think about her?
Well, I want to pull in the French tip into chat saying, I freaking love Jean Grey. The portrayal of her makes her vindictive and powerful and made me so happy. She deserves to have that much agency and background. Yeah. And I echo all that. I echo everything you said. I think this was such a smart and clever way to not only introduce her character, but like set her up with this complicated relationship with her powers and the folks. And it shows how like she gets as strong as she is. I think that is like that's great writing. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like being given this kind of setup and then this is how you get around it is so smart. I mean, it's similar to how I felt about at the end of No Way Home. It's like, okay, now everybody knows this Spider-Man. He's Iron Man Jr. How do we depower him? And then the resolution of that was like, oh, we'll make the entire world forget who Spider-Man is. And I was like, this is why they get paid the big bucks. Like these guys are smart, gals.
Totally.
These writers are so smart. So I'm like, dang, that is so sick. Davy James also saying Jean is the birth of the mutants in the MCU feels so correct. And that makes sense as well. She is one of the leaders of the X-Men. Correct me if I'm wrong, along with Cyclops and all those guys. But yeah, I really like the Jean Grey character. I like Sadie Sink. I think they casted her just right. She's so talented, and like just seeing her struggle and pain, and even just the short arc she had about her sister and looking for her, and the VMAX being a red herring. I'm like, dude, like, come on, that's such a cool way to introduce a character into the wider spectrum of the MCU. And everyone's going to go see Spider-Man. So everyone's going to be like, oh, I know who Jean Grey is. I'm going to go see X-Men. And then it's like, that makes sense. And coming back to the inhibitors, I didn't know that was going to be like a thing in this movie.
Okay.
So when that came up, I like turned to my friends and I was like, oh, the X-Men. I was like, that's the thing, the collar thing, right? And then everyone's like, oh yeah. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. And just everything about that was fantastic. So I really like Jean Grey and the introduction of mutants. They did actually they introduced the mutants in Miss Marvel, but that was like more like a last episode. Oh, by the way, like you might be a mutant thing.
Was that which one was that, and how did they do that?
I literally think it was like the last or second last episode. Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. I forget it. Like literally one of the last scenes, and then her best friend was like, "Hey, by the way, it's like your genes are mutating," and then everyone's like,
okay.
"Oh, and then,
Because I remember one of the movies had a post credit sequence or something where you heard and maybe saw Beast. And I am having a hard time remembering what that was.
That was the Marvels, and we saw Beast.
We saw him in another dimension or something, didn't we?
Yeah, when Photon jumped dimensions, she like met Beast. And then that was where it ended. And then apparently they're not going to be in Doomsday. So I mean, we'll see. You know, they always have surprises. So
we got some chats to address here.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
So first, taking a step back here, Davy James says they also correctly planted the seeds to create a society that may hate and fear mutants. And I wanted to touch on that because that is one of my big concerns, honestly, with what they did with Jean Grey. Is I do wonder about the power creep because, I mean, you know, traditionally Jean Grey is like the strongest mutant, right? She, Professor X even has a hard time containing her, and that's how she becomes, Dark Phoenix and all this shit. So it was a little bit like, even the way that she's on this island, she creates this, bubble where she has frozen everyone, but also the feeling that I got from what they showed was like, these people are frozen, but they're still in their minds in that moment, not like when she was jumping from person to person, right? We saw MJ crying and everything. And it was very much like, oh, these people know that they are just, stuck in whatever they were doing and they can't move, they can't control themselves. So I do wonder about like, how are they going to, and obviously there's the inhibitor chip and everything, but I do wonder how are they going to, nerf Jean Grey if they need to kind of thing. So
that was more of like a very traumatic response. Maybe it's not something she can control. Yeah.
True. And I mean, that is the whole point of, Professor X, right? He's teaching her, or he does eventually teach her. Mm-hmm. And yes, Dave just said it. She doesn't have anybody to help control her. Xavier containing her is more previous movie canon. Yeah, mm-hmm. It's very true. And I think where they're going now is they would teach her to, hone those powers, and hopefully she's able to contain them. But again, you could even also see, I don't know, but some villain character using her to use her powers, right? Mind control, whatever. There's obviously ways they can do that. So anyways, that was just something that I thought of, was like, ooh, she's pretty powerful. Yeah. How are they going to handle this? But I mean, at the same time, you got, Punisher over on a rooftop outside that bubble. And if Spidey hadn't saved her, if Spidey hadn't saved her from that Barrett 50 cal, like, that thing would have killed her, right? So, obviously she's not all knowing, mm-hmm. Omnipotent and everything. So there's that.
He was pretty far, just out of the cell phone range. Yeah. I don't know, but hey, that's a problem for the writers to solve. That's right. And they got some good folks out there in the X-Men verse, or in the MCU universe. I think the other spoiler thing I want to bring up is
it Florence Pugh in a bathtub? Because oh my
that was
god,
pretty good too. That was hilarious.
Put me in a bathtub with Florence Pugh any day.
I know, right? And Spidey tried to keep it professional,
and he kept the mask on.
Shirtless Spider-Man.
Dude. Yeah, wow. That's a different Spider-Man.
I loved her little cameo and doing the big potato, small potato thing.
She was awesome. She's always awesome. She's so good.
Yeah, she's the new through line out of all the recent Marvel projects. So shout out to Florence Pugh. And the other spoiler thing I want to talk about is just like them not resolving Ned and Zendaya's forgetfulness. I think leaving it as like just a little breadcrumb of they're probably going to be friends again, but not this movie. I like that. I like the fact that like they're still struggling with it. The little tidbit at the end, when like Ned does the handshake out of muscle memory, like fully just being like, do I know you? But also not fully like coming back. Like I like the way Spider-Man has to build up that friendship again, because when two people, like, even if you forget someone, if two people are friendship compatible, you're going to still end up being friends. So I kind of liked how he kind of had that muscle memory in there, and can't wait for the next one. Yeah.
His little, I can't remember if he said Pete or Peter, but his little Peter
was,
do you think that was him remembering? Do you think that was him, coming to the realization of like, he had a Raven Simone moment and all the memories came back?
No, I interpret it more as like, well, he introduced himself. Hey, I'm Peter. Yeah. And then Ned was probably like, I don't know who this guy is, but sure, I'll shake a hand. I'm not an asshole. And then he just like does the thing naturally. And he's like, and then he realizes like, oh, do I actually know you? Like a Peter. Okay. They did mention that I think, MJ let it slip that it was Peter's, like, or Spider-Man's name is Peter.
Right.
So I wonder.
Maybe it's just him having the realization of you
might be Spider-Man. And that explains a lot. So like his friends are supposed to be smart too, right? They're like college grad MIT students. So I'm sure they'll figure it out naturally as well. And we'll see how the friendship evolves and all that. Yeah. Those are all kind of my spoiler-free thoughts on Spider-Man No Way Home. I think folks should go see it. It is a great time.
Absolutely.
We'll have a good time. I know, like, might take my parents to go see it because I know they just enjoy watching Spider-Man. And this is like a very, very good movie. A couple more last-minute chats coming in. Friendship Design says... literally would watch Florence Pugh read a phone book. Yeah, I agree. Especially with a fake Russian accent, or Florence Pugh is great. I think she's definitely the right pick to have be this through line. With the Russian accent though, I know she's like an English actress. I wonder if it'll get annoying for her to have to do this Russian accent now. Black Widow got rid of it, kind of. No, Scarlet Witch. Yeah, Scarlet Witch got rid of it.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I wonder if they'll let her do that, but maybe not. Maybe people complain.
I feel like it almost like it plays into her humor though. Scarlet Witch doesn't really have much humor wise, right?
Sure.
But God, what is Florence Pugh's character name? I just think of her as Florence Pugh. Yelena, that's right. It feels like more of a part of Yelena's actual character.
Yeah, that's true.
The accent kind of plays into her humor and everything. So Mr. Hawks in the chat says, did y'all talk about the last scene with Peter and Ned? We had literally finished talking about that a second before your message came through. You might have even caught the tail end of it. But
what are your thoughts on it, Mr. Hawks? As we close out our spoiler discussion, we'll sneak it in here. What are your thoughts? Our basic thoughts were that, like, I don't think he remembered, but the fact that he at that point Ned knew Spider-Man's name was Peter. This guy randomly showed up and he had an instant connection with Spider-Man. He has this feeling that he did know who Spider-Man was at one point. I think in that scene, he was slowly piecing together that this guy is Spider-Man. Yeah. I don't think he remembers.
I like that read.
Yeah, Mr. Hawk saying, I don't think he remembers Peter, but he's slowly piecing together the evidence based on recent events and all that. Because he's like we said, he's a smart guy. He is supposed. He's like engineering student or something. I don't know if they said what he was studying directly.
Yeah, I don't remember.
In it. Yeah.
I like the way you put it when MJ let it slip that Spidey's name was Peter, and then he introduces himself as Peter, and I like the read that was Ned putting it together that, Spider-Man's name is Peter, and I just spent time building Legos with Spider-Man, and there's also the voice, like,
yeah,
come on. He's not doing a Batman, so
that's true.
He's got a recognizable voice. But yeah,
Mr. Hawks
Maynard,
saying, Maynard. Same. I think that the Peter was him realizing that this Maynard dude is actually Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that is true. That's a good read. I think it sets it up for a really fun like I hope we get to see a bit of that build up again in the next movie, but I don't know what the next movie will be. With the the post credit scene hinting that Spider-Man is, do you know where he's going to end up, Jordan?
Battle World
for Secret Wars. So so I don't know when Spider-Man will come back. Maybe maybe before
Doomsday.
Not Doomsday. Secret Wars, I guess.
Spider-Man will return, but yeah.
Or maybe he's just somewhere else. Maybe he's on the Null Planet. One more chat from Mr. Hawk saying the scene where they're putting Lego together was so wholesome. Yeah, and I think that really shows like their friendship was so important in the first movie or in the first trilogy as well. And it's the stuff like that shows them like, oh, these guys were actually friends. And we lose some of that in the later movies because we have to build up his relationship with MJ. But yeah, the Lego building was like such a great callback and perfect for that. Now, I'm gonna put a little cherry on top of our conversation for Spider-Man because we got to get out of here, Jordan.
I know we do. Can I just say one more thing before you put this cherry on top?
Final thoughts.
The Hulk scene.
Oh yeah,
where that whole set piece where Smart Hulk comes and fights Peter, and then loses control, and we see real Hulk for the first time in forever. That was incredible. That so shit fun. Is what the MCU is all about. That was so well done and so cool, right down to the moment where Hulk lets go of that building, or lets go of Peter and the edge of the building and just plummets down. Oh my God. We were talking about no jerking, and I was almost jerking at that.
So. Shout out to that. The fact the building was hanging off his back. Like,
that was so cool.
Like
from the webs.
Yeah, from the webs, from him just jumping around, ripping the building apart.
Yeah.
And him getting like kind of being like pulled away from Spider-Man. I will jerk to this. I will tear jerk to this. The part where Spider-Man's like throwing the Hulk over him and pulling Punisher under him, and the Punisher is just unloading a LNG into the Hulk. I was like, wow, I want that as like a background. Just the choreography of it all. Yeah, and what a cool thing. On the topic of that, though, I will bring this up. Mr. Hawk saying, "Does the Hulk?" I'm going to put the spoilers in. But does the Hulk remember that Peter is Spider-Man? I don't think the Hulk ever met Spider-Man because in Infinity War, the movie starts, or it was Thor Ragnarok, and then he was Hulk. Hulk fights Thanos, loses, and it gets ejected from the spaceship. En route, turns back into Bruce, and then as Bruce lands on Earth, that's when he meets Spider-Man in that first encounter in New York. So I don't know if Hulk actually ever met Spider-Man and will remember. That being said, at some point Hulk became Smart Hulk. So Banner and Hulk had a like half and half, whatever. And then also along that time, Banner went fully back into human form. Now, I'm as Smart Hulk, yes, he would have met Spider-Man during Endgame. And I guess the question is, did Bruce become human and then Doctor Strange did the spell? So Bruce forgot who Spider-Man was, but half of Hulk remembers who Spider-Man was. I think that's the argument there. But I think like full Hulk remembering Peter, they never met. So that's kind of where my timeline's at. I could be wrong. I'm gonna clip that. That's my thesis. That's my theory.
Okay. Good theory. I like it.
I think like the Hulk just has like the part where he lets go. I think like Hulk just has empathy at some point, because it happens with Black Widow a lot. Yeah, mostly Black Widow. He can have empathy at some point, and I think for whatever reason it just triggered in that moment for the plot armor and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was gonna lose. That was intense. Sun's getting real low. That's right.
Sun's getting real low, big guy. I choose to believe Hulk does know, but I find your evidence compelling, I will say.
Thank you. And with that, we will call it on our Spider-Man Brand New Day discussion. What do you think, listeners on YouTube and on podcast? Let us know what your score is for Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you do. It is just a great, fun movie that is entertaining and fun for the whole family. That being said, Jordan and I have to skedaddle out of here because we have a new game to play. A game called Big Walk. It is a game I have been hyped up for since the inception of Grow Up Level Up. It came out today on August 4th. This is not a joke, right? Like they announced it 2023, and I'm like, oh dang, this game looks good. Yep. So next week, on next week's episode on Grow Up Level Up, we're going to do a bit of a maybe review of Big Walk, depending on how much time we get into it, or just impressions and our experiences and funny stories. If you want to play Big Walk with us, definitely give us a shout on Discord. You can join our Discord at the link below, or just message us wherever. And then make sure you are subscribed and following on all our social feeds, especially YouTube, for when the new episode comes out about Big Walk. I can already see my friend group's already in it and they are getting into it. I need to hop in and start walking as well. Jordan, if the people want to follow you and find you, where can people find you?
You can find me all over the internet at Sir Dr. JM. That's Sir DRJM, especially over on Instagram and twitch.tv/Sir Dr. JM. I was looking today. It has been a solid 2 months since I last streamed, but I'm hoping to get back to streaming here now that, summer vacations have calmed down and everything. So
Love that. You can find me at SamsonXP on all the socials as well, mostly Instagram. That's where I post things. I'm starting to try to be a little more intentional with my posting and get just my life out there and games and all that. You can also follow me at SamsonTCG on Instagram. I might start posting there more about a fun new series I'm going to start soon as well. Of course, Grow Up Level Up on all the socials and whatnot, especially YouTube, especially Instagram, to follow along with what's happening with us. A lot of exciting things coming up in the next couple of months. Not only are we going to play Big Walk, I'm going to San Francisco and LA for a couple events. So make sure you are subscribed to Grow Up Level Up to know what those are and to see my videos from it, because I'm excited to make them for you and share my experiences and have you all live vicariously through myself, and hope that you can join me someday. So make sure you subscribe at Grow Up Level Up on all the socials. Let's see. Jordan.
Yes.
Do you have any wise words to end our stream today, or end our podcast? We're going to raid for our live viewers.
There seem to be no wiser words on a Spider-Man episode than to say, with great power comes great responsibility.